want to pray. I like the problem is it comes. I can only get on my phone. I can't forward it to any of my other phones of our server spots at work. And I don't have a printer at home.
That's why I like the iPad.
Sorry, I can't expense that.
It'd be like your arm. You have a mobile iPad, bring it with us and carry it around.
Okay, you know what? Let me see these are like. I think
Copy your contract.
those things
We're just paying for page. I'm sure we got a copy of your contract, do we not? Yeah, well, what's that called per page?
It depends if it's black and white or green color. It depends if it's black and white.
I'll leave that in. Give us a call sometime, and then we'll weigh it out.
Call the meeting to order. Ask everybody to stand for the prayer led by Pastor Reggie Ordonez of Stone Chapel Church, and then remain standing for the pledge.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much just for the ability to honor you with our lives, Lord. I pray for the unwavering resolve and determination of the leaders of this city, Lord. I pray for the citizens of this city, Lord, that we adhere to your word, that we make godly decisions, and that you have your hand on us, Lord, for all things. God, I pray for your Holy Spirit to guide us in the ways that you would have us do your will, Lord, and that we don't take this lightly. I pray for the leaders, Lord, with your hand on them, just to encourage them when times are hard, to guide them when times are hard, for the parents in the room, for the fathers, the husbands, the wives, the daughters, the sons in this room, Lord. I pray for the family unit tonight, Lord. I pray that we lift up all families and that we bond together closely, because that's what this is about, Lord. It's about leading our families, leading our cities, and being good citizens, Lord. And we thank you in Jesus' name. Everyone said?
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mayor Corbett. Here. Alderman Matthews.
Here.
Alderman Silver. Alderman Spicer.
Here.
Alderman Wall.
Here. All right. Need to adopt the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the minutes from the November 21st Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. We got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to welcome all of our visitors. Thank you all for being here tonight. We've got two proclamations. I suspect most of you are here for that. To do tonight. The first one is for the 12U White House Warriors football team. So if you guys want to come line up along the front, I'll read the proclamation. And
Yeah, you'll line up along
just line
here.
up along here.
Face that way.
Whichever.
They're better to look at.
Yeah. Better look at it, yeah.
All right. Whereas the 12U White House Warriors Junior Pro Football Team won the 12U TYSA State Championship on November 9th, 2024 at the Lee Victory Park in Smyrna, Tennessee. And whereas the White House Warriors defeated the Brentwood Blaze by a score of 30-26 in the state championship game. And whereas Mason Bedani, thank you. The White House, Tennessee won the Most Valuable Player Award for the championship game with 183 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wow. Man, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And whereas the White House Warriors finished their season with a record of 11-0, and whereas over the last 4 seasons this group of players amassed a record of 43-1 and won the championship all 4 years. And whereas the White House Warriors Junior Pro Football Team consists of the following players: Jackson Greer, Corbin Welch, Malachi Williams, Braden Kellogg, Max McKee, Nathaniel Malachi, Aiden Webb, Kingston Adams, Mason And this is a tough one too. Tobin.
Oh,
Okay, Tobin S. Daniel Gent, Jason Bowles, Jackson Donahoe, Porter Young, Bentley Perchata, Bentley Taylor, Cooper Whipple, Owen Barbie, Jacob Smith, Timothy Cantrell. And whereas the White House Warriors Junior Pro Football Team is led by head coach Kelly Kellogg and assistant coaches Jesse Kellogg, Doug Whipple, Lance Young, Jeffrey Gadsden, Chris Greer. And whereas on behalf of the citizens of White House, we congratulate them on their success this 2024 season. Now therefore I, John Corbett, as mayor of the city of White House, and on behalf of the entire board of mayor and aldermen, do hereby recognize the 12U White House Warriors Junior Pro Football Team for their athletic achievement and for their commendable representation of the city of White House. Witness whereof I have hereto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of White House to be affixed on this 19th day of December 2024. Congratulations. Yeah, one of you guys want to hold the proclamation? Thank you. Yes, thank you guys. Yeah, that's yours. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy to do it. Thank you. All right, our second proclamation tonight is for Grayson Cook of the White House Heritage High School golf team. You want to come up and we'll read the proclamation. Yeah. Okay, whereas the White House Heritage High School junior Grayson Cook has a decorated career in golf, and whereas Mr. Cook competed in the TSSAA Class A Boys State Championship at the Sevierville Golf Club in Sevierville, Tennessee, on October 7th through 8th, 2024. And whereas Mr. Cook won the TSSAA Class A Boys Championship for 2024. And whereas Mr. Cook received first medalist in the 2024 district tournament. And whereas Mr. Cook received fourth medalist in the 2024 region tournament. And whereas Mr. Cook shot a 75 average in regular season and shot a 72 average in postseason. And whereas Mr. Cook currently has a 3.7 GPA and has been playing golf for White House Heritage High School since the 8th grade. And whereas on behalf of the citizens of White House, we congratulate Mr. Cook on his successful career of competition. Now therefore I, John Corbett, as mayor of the city of White House, and on behalf of the entire board of mayor and aldermen, do hereby recognize Grayson Cook for his athletic achievement and for his commendable representation of White House. Witness whereof I have hereto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of White House to be affixed on this 19th day of December 2024. Congratulations. Stay here and get your picture.
There's only one of you, so I can.
You're fine.
You're good. Go that way a little, you're walking. There you go, right there.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Don't block the shot.
I'm
One more. Congratulations. Thank you.
We can have them on a scramble food.
All right, public comment section. We've got Carla, I'm sorry, I can't, the handwriting is, sorry. Yeah, come on up.
Hello, friends. So I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to speak tonight on the animal control. I know that you guys are voting on going into possibly a planning session tonight. Anyway, so I'd like to just share a few different stories if I could. I'll make them quick.
Sure.
A few years ago, there was a dog abandoned in a field near our home. This dog was starved, she was abandoned, and she was living in a tree line. There was no help for us. There was no one to reach out to. We tried Sumner County Animal Control, which we pay taxes for, and they refused to help. White House PD, of course, cannot help, and I don't blame them. They have enough on their plate. This isn't their issue either. This went on for multiple days. People were dropping food by for. We finally were able to get Sumner County Animal Control to at least bring a trap. They dropped the trap and left. That trap was not monitored by Animal Control. We monitored that trap. And so when the dog finally got trapped, we took her to our home. She was sweet. We relinquished her to a local rescue, and she found a home. So that's a good positive opinion for her. That's one story that really sticks out in my mind. The other issue is dogs running at large, and they are unpredictable. They run in packs. They come into people's yards where their children are playing, where their personal dogs are playing. We have had to intervene multiple times on behalf of these dogs to get them back reunited with their owners, and they're repeat offenders usually. There's no one holding them accountable. They continue to run, and they can be aggressive at times. We've seen them go after smaller animals. They've actually gotten into people's, people say, well, people should have a fence up. This particular dogs I'm speaking of actually get inside of people's fences and get underneath their porch, and their children cannot go out and play in their fence, and then you cannot reach the owner. The other issue is, just the lost and found pets. Some of these are one-offs, right? They really actually just accidentally get out of the home. And it's the citizens that are having to play dog catcher and reuniting with the families. And we all have our own jobs and our own families, but so where does the moral compass lie for this? Is it on the citizens, or is it on the city, which we pay taxes to? So I just, I find it hard to accept that we're paying taxes in both city and county, yet we get no help from either side. So I think that White House can and should do better. And so tonight I just urge you guys to at least vote to move forward with the planning session. I don't think I need to say anything else.
Thank you. All right. Public hearings, we don't have any tonight, so communication, Alderman Wall?
Nothing tonight.
Wow, okay. Mayor Spicer?
Well, most of the department heads are in the summer some, and we're at the end of the year, and I just want to thank all of you for what you do. It's not easy. We all call you pretty regularly with issues that we have, and I have to say you're pretty responsive. You take care of what we need you to take care of, and I appreciate that. So keep doing a good job, and let's do better next year.
All right. Alderman Matthews?
I'd like to thank Kevin and the Parks Department for putting on another fantastic Christmas parade. We participated in it and enjoyed doing it and had a great turnout this year.
Yeah. A bit of a workout too, didn't
Yes,
we?
we did. 4.5 miles.
Yeah.
Get your steps in.
I did, all of them.
City Attorney?
Anything?
City Administrator?
Yes, sir, I do have a few things. I do want to thank staff for the Christmas parade. It's a combination of things. We have public services, police, fire, parks, chamber. We're all together. We work together. It takes us about 6 months of planning. So again, we had a good day. It was a beautiful day to have a parade. Great moderation from Andy and Don and Eden. So I want to thank them for that. Just some things here. Traffic problems along State Route 76 on the west side. We know they were there. Of Interstate 65. They increased the past couple of days. First thought was, well, Rogers Group must be violating their 8 to 3 p.m. Time limits that they can block lanes, but it wasn't them. It was TDOT has required Crown Paving, which is a subcontractor for the new speedway there, they didn't like the way they did the road, so they had to redo it. So that's one of the reasons why they've been out there, and I'm not sure they were under the same restrictions that we were, that Rogers Group was, but they were out there causing some of the traffic issues. So I think they're about done, maybe another day or two. I'm looking at Isaiah, I'm hoping they're gonna be done pretty quick with their aspect, with their project. And also because of that 8 to 3 time frame, it's also gonna delay our project a little bit longer. I think we had to add 20 days to the project, and so we're looking at that. We're getting close to bidding out the Sage Road widening from Cardinal Drive to US 31W. The 5 parcels of land we need at the intersection of Sage and Cardinal. We have agreements now for 4 thanks to Darby, and I know that Derek and I have been working on it. I went to Robertson County Economic Development and asked them to give us the land that we needed from them for free. They did. Same thing with Sam Lambert and Davison Homes. They gave us, they're going to give us theirs for free. The one we had to work out with was Mrs. Apple, the house on the corner. We got one, last one is the HCA group out of, I think it's out of Chicago. It's just a really small little piece we need from them, and they're reviewing it now, and they're going to get back with us. I'm expecting them to give that to us for free too. Let's see here. We have, as soon as we get to that last agreement, we'll go out to bid. I want to thank Mayor Corbett for bringing awareness to me concerning a couple of recent crashes at the intersection of Wilkinson and Callista Roads. I went ahead and researched that further with the police department records, and we discovered that we had 3 crashes, one on October 16th, one on November 6th, and one on November 11th. The October 16th and December 11th crashes reported injuries to occupants of the vehicles. In both 2 vehicle crashes that we had there, property damage was significant, requiring all 4 vehicles to be towed from the crash site. Staff has had discussions in the past concerning this intersection, and we're planning on reviewing and making changes as needed with the Callista Road widening project. But with the deteriorating road conditions in that area, the increasing number of homes under construction, crashes are likely to increase at that intersection. So the Public Services Department, they've been diligent in enhancing the visibility of signage and placing speed monitoring for traffic calming near that intersection. However, due to these recent crashes and the severity of injury and property damage, we're taking action. Public Services is ordering signage and preparing for installation to transform the intersection into an all-way, 4-way stop. We're planning to have this change completed by mid-January.
Can we clap?
Yeah, you can.
We're excited to announce that the contractor for the new recreation center has agreed to us conducting an open house ribbon cutting on June 30th and open fully to the public on July 1st, 2025. So as we move closer to this date, scheduling will be challenging for some programs as we transition out of that old gym and into the new one for some of our programs. And that concludes my report. If there's any questions.
I appreciate you handling the Callista Road thing. I got a ton of calls on it.
Did you? Okay.
Really appreciate you guys jumping right on it.
Thank you.
Okay, need to acknowledge our reports. We got a motion?
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consideration of the following resolutions. Resolution 24-16, a resolution to establish a stormwater enforcement response plan. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Isaiah?
So, this is related to, of course, stormwater, but also, this came to our attention during our most recent stormwater audit. This is, an emergency, or excuse me, I always do that, an enforcement response plan. The enforcement response plan was in place within the ordinance 18-409, although we had to update according to the audit findings that, hey, these are some of the languages that we need to have changed. This is some of the things that TDEC has changed. This is what you need to do to stay in compliance. Pretty standard thing to update this. But what we needed to do was to actually, what we felt was best after discussing with Jerry, is that we removed the enforcement response plan from the ordinance itself and replace it with the updated version of this as approved, if the board is willing to approve it. This enforcement response plan, it includes the penalty sheet on the very last page of it. So that is something that we just wanted to call attention to and be a little bit more deliberate about and have that open in the enforcement response plan as part of the appendix, so that it was in full view and this board knew exactly what we have the authority to do. So
I have to have it put into resolution format because of the fee schedule, and
Yeah.
that's something that's temporary, so it change from time to time.
Is it correct to assume that most of the time the violator would be a builder, or not necessarily a homeowner, it'd be more of a bigger scale? These don't
correct.
seem punitive enough, in my opinion. $100 fine is, even a $500 fine, they just seem light to me.
No, that's a fair point. I did want to point out there though that we do have the ability to fine them up to $500 per violation per day.
Okay.
So is that our max is 500
That is the max per penalty per day.
per penalty per day?
So it can accumulate quickly, can build on itself quickly. However, I'm willing to review if you'd like.
So these are all deadly penalties then?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm with John. I think some of them are a little light. So,
Is the state maximum you said, is that state regulation for $500 per day?
This is the maximum that we hold. I can go back and
In total
review and
for
find
us?
out, yes.
Is there, Valerie, do you know if there's a state maximum for these penalties?
I do not know.
considering some of the issues we've had,
Mhm.
I think you start initiating some high penalties, they'll straighten up.
Yeah, it's more, should be a good deterrent.
Yeah.
Of course.
And this is on top of us being able to stopping them from
That's correct.
continuing construction or anything that's, okay.
That's correct. And also, I'd like to point out that there is a section in this that is repeat offenders.
Okay.
So that gives us another level of.
Another layer of, yeah.
The main thing is you make sure that you do the enforcement, and then we'll see how this rolls out. We can, I think, get this going and then review it. You can continue to review, see how it goes. I don't know how much we collected last year in review.
Off the top of my head, I do not have those
But
numbers.
we need to really look at making sure we're following through the enforcement side of it to get the money and see how we're going with it.
Always amend it later.
We can always amend it 3 months from now, 6 months from now. That's why I wanted the resolution format, so when it goes through
All right.
2 reading, public hearing, all that stuff.
Okay. All right.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consideration of the following ordinances. Ordinance 24-19, an ordinance to amend the fiscal budget for the period ending June 30th, 2025. First reading. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Second.
Jason.
This is our first budget amendment for this fiscal year. I've changed the format a little bit on this, or well, not a little bit, quite a bit. I think it's a lot more easier to understand this way. I've shared this format change with the Comptroller's Office of Local Government Finance and our auditors, and they both agree that this is an acceptable formatting change. One of the main reasons that I wanted to do this is because there was no good way for our previous format to show budget amendments that were going to need to happen for timing issues on large projects, which is the case in this proposed change 1 and proposed change 3. Proposed change 1 and 2 pertain to the recreation center project, and proposed change 3 pertains to the soccer complex project. The soccer complex project, to my understanding, is finished, but it wasn't finished at the time of the end of the fiscal year, June 30th. And so we didn't budget for that for this year. So in order to roll that over, basically the best way to show that is to revise the beginning fund balance, the ending fund balance for last year, and beginning fund balance for this year. Revise those numbers so that it reflects that we didn't spend as much as what we thought we were going to last year. So it's a little bit higher on the ending and the beginning side for this year. And then you can see that on number 3 here, you can see that the ending fund balance for June 30th of 2025 remains unchanged. So it's just a timing issue is all it is there. Similar situation with the rec center on proposed change number 1. The ending fund balance for June 30th of 2025 remains unchanged with that first change there. of that $2.5 million. That was, we had projected to spend that last year, and the project ran a little behind, and we didn't get to that. So we're going to need to spend that this year in order to finish the project. Additionally, the change number 2 is asking for an additional $191,000. And some of that is rounding, in that just to get that project finished out fully stocked with everything that needs to make that building operate by the end of the fiscal year. And I'm sure that it'll probably be pretty close to something like that as far as dollar-wise, as far as the project. It'll be that plus what we've spent so far.
For project 1, is that money that's existing on the line of credit that we haven't drawn, but we anticipate to draw, or am I confusing that?
Are you talking about change number 1?
Yeah.
Specifically for that's money that was included in the debt that we've already been approved, and at this point in the year, we've actually drawn all of that.
Okay.
And kind of back to the earlier conversation
Okay.
about the restricted fund balance, which
Right.
is what Jessica was talking about.
Okay.
That is money that we drew from the bond that we didn't spend at the end of the fiscal year. And the reason we did that was because there was going to be some large payouts come through that
Right.
could be in low revenue times, like the beginning of the fiscal year when we haven't received property taxes yet. So they told us that we could estimate. So we estimated based off of the contractor's estimates. Well, the contractor's estimates on the 3rd revision I received showed that they would be done with that project in October. Obviously, they didn't finish in October, and they're still not finished.
Right.
So we've drawn that completely. So the good thing is LGIP, our savings account, pays more interest than what we're
That's
getting
what I was
charged.
going to ask. That was my next question.
We're
Okay.
not currently benefiting from that, but if conditions change, we could be breaking even, and eventually we're going to wind up paying interest. But
Yeah. Okay.
Any other discussion? Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 24-20, an ordinance to amend the municipal code title 18, chapter 4, stormwater management, sections 18-409, 18-410, and 18-411. First reading. Is there a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Okay.
So just a few moments ago, I mentioned that we had deleted the enforcement response plan out of the ordinance, and those are 18-409, 410, and 411.
Okay.
So that's just a removal of that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Purchasing, to approve or reject the purchase of miscellaneous furniture for the Recreation Center from Nashville Office Interiors on the statewide contract number 28266 in the amount of $147,553.34. Parks and Recreation Director recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right. So this just pertains to all of the furniture that we feel that we need for the rec center. So just starting with the game room, will be a couple of side chairs that are kind of like couch material, and then 11 standing chairs, 4 sections of couches, boardroom table, ping pong table, foosball table, and shelving for the storage room. And then the staff break room, 3 tables and 12 chairs. The event lobby will have a couple of cafe tables and 8 chairs for the concessions area, and then 5 bar height chairs for the concessions counter. In the gym, we'll have 52 folding chairs and 10 tables and a dolly for transport. And then in the maintenance office, that'll be a desk, office chair, guest chair. The kids camp will have 4 tables, 10 kids chairs, an office desk, a couple chairs, and a bookcase. And then in my events coordinator office, basic stuff in the office, a desk, chair, cabinets, guest chairs, all that kind of stuff. Multi-purpose rooms will have 23 tables and 132 chairs between the 2, technically 3, rooms. And then the equipment issue will have 2 office chairs. This price includes delivery and installation of everything and the removal of trash. It includes doing a punch list of the items that may be broken, and then we'll replace everything NOI, the company that we worked with on this, they would receive the furniture at their warehouse and then just install it whenever the building is ready. They can kind of keep it in-house until that point. And most of the furniture has a 10-year warranty, but the stuff in the game room, like the board game table and ping pong table, foosball table, those are 5 years. So.
Quick question. Where is it in the budget for cover for the gymnasium floor?
That'll be a separate thing, and I'm going to add it into the miscellaneous rec items, so it'll be done. I won't have to go through this process for that.
Okay.
Miscellaneous.
I got all the...
I know he said that all, guys.
Mike's favorite word.
I just want to make sure we include that in the budget because
Oh, for sure.
I want to protect.
I've already gotten from Derek, like, where we got it the last time,
Yeah.
so I'm prepared for that.
So I'm assuming we bid this out?
Oh yeah, this is
This
much
is
better.
state contract.
Okay, state contract.
Better than what we saw before.
Yeah.
It'll be a nightmare bidding.
Because I saw Nashville Billiard on here, and they're typically really high. So I didn't know
Well,
if they were
that
tied.
might have been because I know one of our leisure board members suggested that we get a tornado type, what is it?
Yeah, they've got good equipment.
And so that's probably the top of the line one, and we added that in there, so.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject the purchase of gaming equipment for the recreation center from CDW-G on the Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative Contract number 121923-CDW in the amount of $63,095.31. Parks and Recreation Director recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
So just in case some may not know, we will have a game room in the rec center, and within that game room, there's going to be a separate room for esports, for gaming. For the esports room, we plan on having a hybrid setup, which means that we'll have PC gaming along with console gaming contained within the same room. This is a common setup at facilities like ours, and allows us to serve all interests. So for that esports room, this quote contains 16 esport desks, chairs, gaming headsets, and gaming monitors, 9 gaming PCs, mouse and mouse pads, 6 Xbox and PlayStation consoles, 2 Nintendo Switch consoles. The keyboards have been left off due to the ones we were trying to get being discontinued, so we'll need to purchase those separately. For the main game room, we will also have console gaming options available in there. And for that portion, the quote includes just 3 of each console platform, so the Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation, and then 3 gaming chairs. This quote also includes 3 console gaming hubs for storage of the consoles under each TV. And lastly, this also includes all the TVs necessary for the esports room and game room, as well as the rest of the TVs for the remaining rec center, except for the multi-purpose rooms. This does not include games for the PC or gaming console systems. It was suggested that we wait until we get the platforms themselves and then do digital downloads of the games. So I'll be purchasing arcades for the game room as well, so that'll come out of this budget line. But that's through a different company, and so I'm trying to work on that currently. But either way, it should still come well under budget. So.
Kevin, can you explain to the board how this equipment is being protected?
I was gonna ask about that.
I know they're gonna ask that question.
What kind of adult supervision are we gonna have?
Can you explain how it's being protected?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, like I said before, this esports room, so the most expensive portion of it, it's within the game room, so it's a separate room. It's got its own door, so it'll be locked. Of course, we do include in the membership for people to use that room, so they'll just have to come to the front desk and ask for access in there, and we'll let them in as long as they have a membership. So, but obviously, yes, we know that that's very expensive equipment, and so we'll be keeping it.
We got cameras in these rooms?
There's 5 cameras, I think, in that room. So.
Okay. Yeah, because that's an expensive lot of equipment. I know how kids are with their equipment.
And we can discuss this at LSB. There probably should be some kind of waiver included in the membership that if they damage or the equipment, then they're responsible for the replacement. Yeah.
How often do you think we'll have to replace this equipment, Kevin?
It just, it depends. It depends on how much you use it. I like the the good thing is like the monitors and stuff, I mean, it's less expensive, but stuff like that, you don't have to replace as much, but the PCs, I mean, I would say it's gonna have to be like our fitness equipment, where we start at 3 years and then just replace 1 or 2 a year, you know, in a rotation sort of thing, because, yeah, it gets outdated quick in that sort of space. But also, we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, maybe they won't get used much, and there'll be people wanting to play console gaming, and so we focus more on that, which, that is a little more durable and, you know, can last a little bit longer, so it's gonna be kind of a work in progress to see how it goes.
Who around us has this type of environment already?
It's mostly schools, that have this sort of thing. I know the people that are supplying the desks, they are supplying them to like Montgomery County, just like all over the school system there. So I'd say it's mostly schools and campus recreation, it's big there. I mean, a lot of colleges are offering scholarships.
So there's no rec centers, around us that have them?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Do we have any plans for offering like any coding or anything like that to go along with the game?
I would love to
I saw
add
that
just a STEM
programs.
program
Yeah.
through the school, yeah, that's certainly one thing on the list.
Not all just recreation.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah.
And partnering with the library, they do a lot of stuff like that, so we can do that as well.
And Kevin, thank you for taking a look at this. It started a little bit higher on numbers, and we looked at some universities that had these programs set up. I think Butler was one of them, and kind of how they had theirs set up and what type of consoles they used. But Kevin's done a good job. I know he's passionate about it, and has put this together and rearranged the configurations a little bit so that he thinks that it works well for the city of White House. So.
What about monitoring? Like, you know, some of these games have age requirements. Are we gonna?
Yeah, that's a good question.
More discussion.
I haven't really thought about that one. I mean,
Yeah, that's why adult supervision,
yeah.
obviously.
But I mean, you got little kids playing some of these games that are better than adults, you know, so it's tough.
Yeah, I know the community has asked for years, you know, we need things for our kids to do. You know, of course, they're going to have to pay to do these things, but some kids can't afford to have
To
equipment
me, the
like
biggest
this.
thing about this aspect is this is a demographic that we haven't been able to reach a lot,
Right.
you know, with teens and stuff. So I mean, this has potential to bring that kind of demographic in, and adults as well. So I mean, I think it'll be huge for that. So I'm excited about it.
Then we look at it, you know, how many kids have already got these at home? Are they going to pay to come here to play them?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's the same thing. Like, you know, you could play baseball in the backyard if you want to, but if you want to come get around, you know, your peers and play together in a tournament and stuff like that, I mean, that's
Yeah,
I mean, this opens up the opportunity for gaming tournaments and things like that.
it's another option.
Yeah.
So.
But by chance, in our policies, do we look at setting any time limits for like how long a child or could stay on the equipment? Is there anything like that? Cause
I guess we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah.
If it's something that's crowded all the time, yeah, we'll have to look at that. I know that, like, when me and Jerry when we first had this idea, we went to Franklin, and in Cool Springs, they had a gaming setup there, and they had, like, certain time frames that you could rent or whatever, so maybe that's something we could look at in the future if, you know, if it comes to it. But,
Yeah, a lot of this is gonna be trial and error.
yeah.
Right.
All right, any other discussion?
I think we'll have to have Valerie, she's got to look at some type of waiver you mentioned.
Yeah.
And if she can write something up for us, put in the membership sign, you know, like when they sign up the membership, they sign off on it.
And maybe part of that waiver should say something like, you know, there could be explicit games being played with underage children, and you have to, you know, a parent would be responsible for that, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that's something that we should talk about some
Yeah.
more. Like, I wonder if there's like some sort of restrictions we could put on
Right.
those
Like
to start with,
consoles.
and that they would have to get some other permission to be able to do. I mean,
Yeah.
do we even want them playing those?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know, so I think
I don't know.
that's the leader service might want to talk about that a little bit more to figure that
Yeah,
out.
at
But-
the next meeting, yeah.
Okay.
Because, you know, you might not want somebody playing that and then having a kid right beside you,
Right.
you know.
That's right.
Yeah, makes sense.
Definitely need to write this up before we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Other business, to approve or reject the results of the financial audit completed by Kraft CPAs for the year ending June 30th, 2024. The finance director recommends approval. We got a motion? Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject the 2025-2026 budget calendar. We got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? reject the 2025 Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting calendar. We got a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mikey's all good with your vacation?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
You worked your
I've already
vacation
gone
now?
through it. I've already
Okay.
gone through it. I'm good. I'm good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject subdivision infrastructures and street acceptance for Concord Springs, Phase 3, the planning director recommends approval. We got a motion?
Motion to discuss?
Second?
Second.
All right, so just,
Yeah, so this was brought to planning commission in October. I think it was October 30, 31st. There was a heavy rain that it washed out the detention pond. Isaiah and his team caught it, so we held it off from this agenda. So, everything is stabilized and, it was acceptable by our team for
Everything's working.
yeah, everything's working. It's on the agenda.
And we allocated the funds where they're supposed to
Everything's
go?
working.
yeah.
And the cost with this?
Yeah.
We're working on that process.
Okay.
To get that, so.
All right. You got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject a certificate of compliance for J&L Liquor Stores located at 322 Hester Drive. Got a motion?
Motion to
All
discuss.
right, second?
Second.
Derek, is over yours?
Yeah, J&L Liquor's attorney, contacted me about Harsh Patel's father. He's the current manager of J&L. Harsh Patel's buying another liquor store, I think it's in Lebanon. His father helped loan him some money to get that purchase. The state, just wanted to have, his father listed on, our certificate of compliance as well as Lebanon's, just so, because he has some interest in it, so, that's what this is for, is to update their certificate of compliance, because they already have one, it's just updating it with this name on it.
Okay. All right. Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject scheduling a Board of Mayor and Alderman study session regarding animal control within the city. Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject scheduling a joint study session with the Board of Mayor and Alderman and Planning Commission regarding land use regulation updates. Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No discussion items, no other information. We're adjourned.
No miscellaneous items?
We can add that.